Uh, so my opponent says that to kyrie mu never refers to God the Father. Well, unfortunately, I think that what my opponent did was go on Strong's Concordance and look at the number of occurrences. But if you actually look through all of the extant Greco-Roman and Jewish literature, it's found in Psalm 151 of the Septuagint and 2 Samuel 24:24, the Masoretic text version, obviously referring to God the Father.
Well, what is unfortunate is what my opponent did not tell you. First, the psalm in question is not part of the Protestant biblical tradition. So he's appealing to the Catholic Bible. The other issue is that this psalm offers no known Hebrew Masoretic text that we can check against. So we don't know if this verse contained the Hebrew latoni, to my Lord, that is used in Psalm 110, verse 1 for the second Lord. But we do see, as my opponent claims, the to kyrio move, to my Lord, in the Greek translation. But as you will also see, according to the New English translation of the Septuagint, how that to kyrio move, how that Greek phrase, as you can see, lowercase l, Lord, so that scholars today are reading this as if the Hebrew did in fact contain latoni, which again is in Hebrew always used for human lords. The other thing to note about this verse is that it's open to interpretation as well, because the question, and who will report to my Lord, is answered by the Lord, that is the Lord God himself. It is he who listens. In other words, the psalmist is addressing someone who is not God and answering that it is God himself who is listening. And second, my opponent brings up a verse in 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 24. But again, it's unfortunate what he is not telling you about the Greek text that he showed you. Now, this is from the British scholar Sweat, the 19th century. But as you can see, there is a footnote that has the number 24 for verse 24. And the footnote says that the my there is omitted in some versions of the Septuagint, it seems. So, for example, if we bring up other versions, you will notice that all other known translations have to kyrio and theomu, which of course is understood to be a reference to the Lord, that is Yahweh, who is called my God. So at the very least, there is ambiguity here, because it seems as if the translation my opponent found, perhaps by mistake, might be after all an error. These errors do happen, as all textual scholars, textual critics know, throughout the scriptures, whether Old or New Testament. So it is the job of the textual critic to sift these errors or variations out and find out what is the true reading of a particular text or a particular verse. Oh, and by the way, for the benefit of my opponent and others, I'm not using simply Strong's Concordance, but in this case, BibleWorks version number 10.